Apple vs Samsung. Samsung, Apple's Magic Yes, design is yet again a personal preference. Jason Cipriani doesn't care for how big Samsung is going with the S21/Note 20 line. If you want a smaller phone in Samsung's lineup, the company removes some features from the larger devices. On the other hand, Apple launched 4 different iPhone 12 models, all of which have the same basic features, except the larger sensor on the 12 Pro and IBIS-stabilized main camera sensor on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Apple and Samsung, very high marks nevertheless. Both Apple and Samsung have some of the best product designs in the entire industry, so they both get very high marks. Both are ranked a 9 in this area. Historically, I would say both of these companies scored relatively low in terms of product durability. That's why I have housed these things in outer boxes for so long. But, in recent years, Apple and Samsung have upgraded their phones to IP67 and IP68 ratings to make them waterproof and much improved glass tensile strength, so I would say their products are much more durable. However, I'm still using cases until someone proves to me they are indestructible. Video, the images of the drone of a Tesla. However, right now, for S21 devices in the North American market, Samsung uses Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 SoCs that are faster in some raw benchmark areas than the A14, such as memory bandwidth. It also integrates 5G on the die. In contrast, the A14 Bionic is paired with an older X55 modem chip made by Qualcomm and has to go through interconnects for its data communications pipeline. Apple is a year behind Samsung in 5G systems integration, there's no getting around that. Apple's massive win is not entirely sure what is accounting for Apple's significant gain here. Still, the iPhone 12 was a massive win for the company as its first 5G device, and its price point was lower than the previous model at the entry level when it was first introduced. We also have to account for other models, the iPhone SE, the iPhone XR, and the iPhone 11, that continued to sell well at reduced price points following the iPhone 12 launch. In contrast, Samsung did not make comparative price adjustments to its line later in the year and did not have 5G across its line until recently. Samsung, the images of the App Start. Apple's magic is how easily all of its products work together without the user having to do much, if anything, to make it work. Samsung has a line of products from fridges to dryers to phones and smartwatches. But there always seems to be one thing or another that doesn't work right. Again, I think this goes back to relying on Google for Android and Chrome OS and Microsoft for Windows. They don't control the total experience. Both Cipriani. We could argue about this all day long because it is a highly subjective topic. Both Cipriani and I prefer iOS. Objectively, however, Samsung has made significant improvements with One UI 3.0. However, if we track the development of both mobile operating systems over the last several years, it feels a lot like Android and iOS are becoming very similar platforms from a user experience perspective. Video, the images du jour. While Apple gets very high marks for supply chain management and sourcing components, not to mention that it is a chip designer itself, it's no match for Samsung because it even has to rely on Samsung to provide parts for its products, which includes things such as OLED displays, non-flash, and RAM. Additionally, while Samsung uses the Qualcomm Snapdragon in its phones, it fabs those chips for Qualcomm, including the latest 888. Samsung also has SoCs of its design, the Exynos, which it uses in phones it sells in the global marketplace. So, yes, Apple is extremely competent in this area. It scores an 8, while Samsung scores a 10.